beautiful person. So happy to talk with you again. Just a quick video because it's getting pretty late for me. I'm an early riser, but I just wanted to get this out today because it's something I've been thinking about all day. I watched a video this morning from someone I really respect, and the person was talking about guilt and shame and kind of using the words interchangeably. And I do understand where they were coming from, but I was just thinking about all the Brene Brown that I've read, and I thought it was really important to talk about the difference between guilt and shame. And so basically what it comes down to, guilt can be a really good force in somebody's life. Shame is never a good thing. And the person was talking about people feeling guilt for something that they hadn't done. And basically was saying, there's no point in feeling guilt. Guilt is a bad thing. And if people shame you, then they're shamers and they try to make you feel guilt. And basically was using it interchangeably. And I thought it was kind of important to kind of separate things a little bit. Because as Brene Brown says, and I forget which of her books I found this in, I tried to find it so that I could actually read you the passage, but it's okay. Hi, Debbie. Thanks for watching. So the difference is basically the way Brene Brown puts it, and I really love the way she puts it, is guilt is, I did something bad. Okay? Like if, when you were a kid, if you stole a cookie and you knew you weren't supposed to steal a cookie, you knew that you had done something bad. And actually the person that I was watching gave an example of guilt about the person had a period in their life when they didn't give as much attention to their kids as they felt they should have, and they felt guilty about it, and then they spoke with the kids, and they forgave them, and they went better going forward. So that was guilt, and guilt led them to act the right way because they were a good person who had done something bad. That's fine. Then there's shame, according to Brene Brown, and she knows about shame. She's a shame researcher. Shame is not, I am a good person who did something bad. Shame is, I did something bad, and now I am a bad person. And shame is just so soul destroying. Okay, if you live with shame, then you are constantly beating yourself up. And you just feel like you could never make it right because you are essentially wrong when you live with shame. But the thing is that if you live with shame, if you can bring the shame up and speak it, it will go away. It's hard. It's hard, as Brene Brown says, shame lives in silence. It likes to silence us. If we are feeling shame, then we think that we can't tell anybody about something. That's a terrible thing that happens to lots of victims of sexual abuse, for example. They are shamed and they think that they did something wrong, and they did nothing wrong, but they think that they did, and they think that they are a bad person because of what happened to them. It's just heartbreaking. So I just wanted to just spend a few minutes with this difference between guilt, which can be of motivation to do good, because a person who feels guilty is someone who has done something wrong, whereas shame is, I am wrong and there's nothing to be done about it and I will never be right. And that is just such a terrible thing. And like I said, if you read Brene Brown's books like Daring Greatly, and I thought it was just me, but it wasn't. Great books. Hi Jim. Great books, in which she really takes apart this whole concept of shame and teaches people how they can become free of shame because they become courageous and they can speak whatever it was that needed to be spoken and move beyond the shame. So shame is never a good thing, and that's why people feel so bad when they feel shame. Guilt, on the other hand, can be a force for good, because if you are a good person who has done something that you know is wrong, then you need to make it right. There's this whole concept in my culture, it's called teshuvah, it's repentance, and when you are doing something like that, that comes out of guilt, not out of shame, then you need to make it right. First of all, you need to recognize what you've done. You need to make it right, if at all possible. Apologize to the person, pay reparations, whatever it is that you need to do. And number three, you have to commit to never doing it again. So guilt can be a very good and strong force in making things better in the world. There's nothing wrong with guilt. Shame, on the other hand, is always a bad thing. So I just wanted to explain that. I hope you kind of get what I'm talking about. Like I said, the main difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is I did something wrong, I need to fix it. Shame is I am wrong and I can never be fixed, and it's heartbreaking. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. Hi, Gail. And especially with everything that's going on in various cities in North America, our hearts go out to everyone who is suffering, and wish everyone safety and health. Remember, there's also a pandemic going on. Didn't somebody say they didn't realize that they wanted to experience 1918, 1929, and 1968 all in the same year? So everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Remember, I love you. Talk to you again soon. Bye.